The court didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money to repair a boiler system when they didn't know for sure what was going to happen with this building. And so they put Band-Aids where they could, when they could, to make this a livable place for those of us who work here. And to suggest that nothing has been done just doesn't really say the truth. It is in a deplorable state, but the people who were here did the very best they could with the amount of money that they had.
And I hear that, Judge Sexton, but I also hear on the flip side is how can we put all the money in the annex versus trying to put that money here and restore this? Because, I mean, the courthouse means a lot to everybody, and I think we need to look at all sides. And that's why we're here tonight.
Absolutely, but to suggest that nothing has been done for years and years is really untrue. And if you want to go back, ask the auditor. They spend money. It's been a Band-Aid. It hasn't been. We had a huge restoration project, cosmetic, for our centennial for this building. We had a big celebration. You may have attended. It was held at the high school celebrating this building. And everybody from Judge Pavelic on have been working on how to get the monies from the Historic Commission for us as a very poor county at the time to be able to restore this building.
Judge, can I address two things you said? One is that the fact that you now have a complete set of plans for how this ultimately will be restored is very useful, because then you will know when to do things. Even if you can afford only a small piece, it can always be done in the right order and adding to the whole so you'll ultimately reach your goal. If you can't do it all at once or all in 5 years, at least you'll have a roadmap of how to get there. That's very important that you've got those set of plans for this building now. The second thing is, because of the money we've already put in, the $100,000, and because of the money we're putting in now, the $600,000 or so, we have an easement, a preservation easement, which is a legal agreement between us and the county that this building will be maintained in the future up to a certain standard. And we're having a workshop every year with all the counties that receive funds. We bring them all to Austin. We do a comprehensive analysis of how they're maintaining their buildings. And the state doesn't want these buildings to get back into the condition that they're in now after lots of state money is spent on them. So there will be ongoing maintenance in a cooperative way between the counties and the state as we move forward on this project.
I just want to ask the court, first of all, quickly on the date.
I did.
And considering this goes canceling the contract with MJ Bloom, how did this come about?
Because I was getting bombarded with phone calls about it. I mean, it kept, and then what would happen is, if somebody was, it became to the fact that it's hard to even complete a workday in there without something coming up about, can we get out of these contracts? Do we have to restore the courthouse? I've even had people tell me, well, you built a mini courthouse next door. Why do you have to restore this courthouse? How many courthouses does Karnes County need? That's why I ask these meetings to be at night so citizens can be here. That way everybody gets their say and everybody gets to hear. I asked all these documents be filed. I asked all this starts taking place because I'm sitting up there doing a work day actually trying to work, and I spend my whole day doing this. And it's because people are bombarding me with these questions and people are asking me. The majority of the phone calls that I get are not as user-friendly as what you've seen in this room today. Please be aware of that. I mean,
when I look at this and think about this, there are two contracts here. We have one with the Historical Commission. We have another one with the contractor. It looks to me as if you were to cancel one with the other. I mean, you cancel one, you're kind of canceling both of them, are you not? Mr. Busselman, could you shed some light on that?
I'm not sure on what you're talking about.
Well,
the contract with MJ Boyle contains, you have to go to another place to find it, but it contains ways to cancel the contract, one for the benefit of the builder, one for the benefit of the owner, and it spells it out. It just simply takes a letter from the Commissioner's Court to say, we don't want this contract anymore. And then there's some things that have to be done. But no, it is provided within the contract itself by reference.
well, this has been a 12-year process, has it not?
Now, I don't know what what the contract you're talking about, other than the one MJ Boyle. It's the only one that I'm aware of that's in contention right now. Are you talking about the easement that?
Well, you just made mention to the $100,000 that the Texas Historical Commission had given us for.
No, I didn't, I did not mention that.
The other contract in question is called a funding agreement between the county and the state for the money. There's been two of those. The first one's complete, that work was done. The second one is open right now because the county is in the process of, living up to the requirements within that funding agreement, which is a contract.
Well, the problem that I see here, quite frankly, I was born and raised here. I left and went to state school for 11, 12 years and got a law degree, which you believe. And I came back here to practice law, and I've been here 40 years. Is that a good idea? I don't know. It seems like one at a time. But the thing is that if we go ahead at this point, we are going to be committed to do something that we cannot do now if we wanted to go forward with it. We couldn't. We just can't do it.
It's not true. This funding agreement does not commit you to the phase 2.
No, I understand. But the effect of tearing this building down, we lose a lot of space. There's not enough space in the new building, which should have been done. It's not there. And so we have a situation that's intolerable. We can't move over there with everything that we've got here because it's not large enough. And so we tear this down now before that's finished. We got a problem.
I don't think there's a problem with delaying the removal of these wings until your annex is finished. But you need to let the contractor know that. You need to let the state know that you're modifying the funding agreement and extending the time frames. And I think everybody will be work out it's going to be reasonable. But when that work is done, when those wings are removed that are settling and pulling away from the building, this building can be reoccupied. That's the contract calls for this to be an occupiable building at that point.
Well, yeah, I understand. Why, if we just leave it alone, cancel the contract and take it off, and just leave it alone, we're right at that same position.
It's not a building
That's closed down. I don't know. But the people that we've had look at it, don't tell us that. They say, well, you heard this.
Well, Mr. Calvetti's coming tomorrow to the meeting also, and he can clarify that for you, Judge.
Yeah, the last thing I want to do is be on the 3rd floor, because it'd be my luck if the thing falls sideways, and I can go down with it. I get run over by a damn truck, run over by a truck. Got a lot of trucks on the highway right now. So, if you just don't go down, well, I could be cushioned by the 1st floor and the 2nd floor. But neither is very satisfactory. It doesn't let you sleep with me sometimes.
And so, to answer your question, is when I get these calls during the day, and I have people that live way out in the country who offer to have their children come get me and take me to their house and drive down their road, and I always joyfully decline and say that I will come myself, because and then they tell me, they said, you know what, you don't care about us, you don't care about law enforcement, you don't care about all you care about is building, 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 building. And I don't think that's true, because I do have that sensitivity towards my fellow citizens. I have that sensitivity towards this building. And I still disagree with Judge Saxon. I think more could have been done on the maintenance. We just built a huge building over there that we spent millions of dollars for. And I'm getting hammered every day. And what I hear all the time is, if your mayor let your street look like you let my road look, wouldn't you be ashamed? And I mean, that's backing me in a corner, because, see, I live in town and I have a nice paved street. So, it's much nicer than what I have drove down lately, because let me tell you what, I am Diamond Shamrock's fairest new customer, because I'm constantly washing my car after I drive through whatever to go look at whatever. And I receive those calls all day long. I receive calls all day long telling me that they can't get the cops when they call, they can't get this, they can't get that, they can't. And it's to the point when Sylvia walks out, I go, she's like, line 1. She's like, yeah, she's here. Because it's like, I know somebody on the other end is going to be upset. So Ms. Butler, compared to what they have, no, I do have something extremely nice. I've been out on them too lately, and it's not a lot of fun. So
I don't think it's a matter of not.
So that's how this got on here. People were telling me that they felt like the county had their priorities wrong. They felt like this is where we ended up. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
What's this fellow's name over here sitting on the end? You're visiting here?
Mr. Graves.
We're getting way off. Can y'all please
No,
correct me?
my question is here, we're talking about canceling this contract, or even if we do this, sounds like we have, you kind of skimmed over it. Sounds like we have an unfounded mandate there. This building has to be maintained by the county to y'all standards. If we take this money, what if we say no? Because you've got that easement or whatever that this building belongs to you.
That's correct. Number one, it doesn't say the building belongs to us. It says.
What does it say?
It says that the building will be maintained in the condition or better than it is at the time the grant-funded work is complete. So that means you will not let the building fall back down into a state of disrepair as a condition of receiving the state money. And that's what we've done with 55 counties that have finished their courthouse restorations now. And so that it's not like giving money to the county free and say, okay, we'll take your money and we'll let the building fall down. That's not what the state is interested in doing. We want to see, it's like loading somebody your car and you tell them, you can take my car as long as you want it, but don't bring it back wrecked. You know, bring it back full of gas and ready to go. And that's just like this. We're giving you money to do work on this building and matching county funds with it. And as part of that agreement, the county says we will keep the building in at least as good a condition as it is at the time that work is completed. So that's the agreement, and it's a contract and it's an agreement between the county and the state. And we don't own the building. The building is still owned by the county. The county's still going to maintain it, change it, do it as they need to do it. But we do have an oversight interest in the building so that those state dollars have not been wasted.
So what I'm asking is, rather than fooling with y'all, what if we just, if we don't take this contract, we're not obligated with all
That
that
would be a
mess?
decision you would have made before you signed the contract. That would have been fine. We're not forcing this money on anybody, but once you accept it and sign that contract, we're not interested in canceling it at that point.
So we're stuck.
We already did.
Yes or no?
All I would say is that you have signed a legally binding contract with both the county and with your contractor, and your architect for that matter. But there's probably ways to get out of contracts, and legal lawyers, I'm not the lawyer, so I don't know how you would go about getting out of this contract. But the decision to not accept the money should have been made before it was accepted and it was signed and the money was out.
In other words, we're stuck with what some lame duck commissioners did.
Well, it's like going into, you know, it's like having a mortgage on your bank and saying, I've signed my mortgage and I'm stuck paying it now. Yeah, if you sign it, you're stuck paying it.
Thank you. What was your